She was exhausted. Tsubaki thought she might be getting sick.
お父さん、書斎の荷物まとめた？
Her family was preparing to move. Tsubaki was taking care of the kids' toys and the books in the bedroom, tying stacks of them together with twine.
ねえ、お父さんたら弾いてるの？
ああ、すまんすまん。今やってるよ。ほら、ひろあき、ちょっとどいてなさい。
Voices bathed in joy poured forth from the study. A father and his son were happily building the new plastic model together. The tension that Tsubaki's father had accumulated had all but dissipated after Hiroki's return yesterday. He sat by Hiroki's side and played with him for hours on end, disregarding his assigned duties. Tsubaki understood his feelings very well, so she held her tongue. She was currently still busy playing the role of her sick mother, taking care of the whole family's chores. She cooked, washed laundry, crooned her siblings to sleep, poured beer for her father, and now spent a few peaceful moments packing up for the move. Suddenly, Tsubaki began to question her endless work.
ほらさえ、ちゃんと布団で寝てなさい。トイレ？トイレはあっちでしょ。もう。
She used a harsher tone than she meant to. She said things she didn't mean to say. What's happening to me? Nothing should have changed for her. As the eldest daughter of the Miwa family, Tsubaki has always done chores like the cooking and the laundry. Taking care of her siblings for her sick mother was only natural. She had even gotten a kick out of her father's subtle nagging and complaints back in the day. Tsubaki began to search her thoughts for the reason behind her change. Her wandering mind settled once more on that man. The unforgettable whispers of the devil assailed from her memory. I will mold you into a human. He said this to her as she ran around the city with the ransom. After that, they had secretly rendezvoused twice. In the end, what had Hiroki's kidnapper wanted with Tsubaki? It seemed to have a liking for psychology. As a result, Tsubaki's heart had been scooped out numerous times without her even realizing it. Tsubaki thought that she would like to meet him again someday. If she did, she had the chance to take out all her melancholy on him. She wanted to burden him with the feeling within her which brought forth such anger and regret. But at the same time, Tsubaki felt indescribable uneasiness toward her hatred of another person. At that moment, her prayers were answered. Her cell phone rang. This was the phone the kidnapper had provided her. She had wanted to scrap it, but never managed to, deciding instead to keep it nearby at all times. She pressed it tightly between her hands. After affirming that her family hadn't noticed, she pressed the talk button without hesitation. The receiver remained silent. She quietly said, "Hello." That strange, familiar voice reached her ears. It was the kidnapper.
わかりました。
She acquiesced, I don't know that word, to his desires right away. Maybe this was the moment she had been waiting for. Tsubaki watched silently under the winter sky. The criminal had waited for the right time to speak.
はい。監禁されていたことなんて、もうすっかり忘れているみたいに元気です。
監禁だなんてとんでもないな。保護していたようなものだ。トラウマになってしまったらかわいそうだろう。
Was it a joke or was he serious? The criminal acted as if he had done the boy a favor.
警察には連絡していないだろうな。
もちろんです。
分かっていると思うが、私はまたいつでもお前の家族を絶望の淵に立たせることができる。
This voice permitted no denial. Tsubaki took a deep breath and asked,
何の用ですか？ もうあなたのことは早く忘れたいんですが。
Lies. She wouldn't be able to forget this man even if she
最
tried.
後に確認しておこうと思ったのだ。
確認？
Tsubaki held her breath. The kidnapper continued.
私が憎いか？
He used a provocative tone. Tsubaki's head felt as if it had been pummeled by the blunt object. She found herself tongue-tied.
そうか。憎いか。
Maou laughed with satisfaction.
しかし、私はもうお前の前には現れない。たとえ警察が調べを入れたとしても、私の足取りはつかめないだろう。
Tsubaki's knees nearly buckled under her. This evildoer was about to disappear. Who could she take these suppressed feelings out
言っ
on?
ておくが、お前は巻き込まれたに過ぎない。私の真の目的は別のところにあった。
真の目的って何ですか？
わかるだろう。お前の身近な友達だ。
Tsubaki finally understood, and the name escaped her lips.
ハルちゃん。
Then suddenly, the chime of the dial tone echoed in Tsubaki's ears. The devil's whispered vanished into the wind. Only the sound of her own breath reached Tsubaki as she stood there, motionless in the cold.
こんな。
She gripped the cell phone tightly. Her lips quivered and her brow furrowed. An impulse to scream raged in her mind. Dirty emotions gathered in her heart, all directed at a dear friend. That girl likes Kyousuke too, she thought. Tsubaki couldn't control these feelings. Tsubaki decided that her past self had indeed been the distorted one. She became the class representative simply because people asked her to. She had cleaned up for friends when they shirked their duties. She put her young brother as her top priority, spent all her time and allowance on the people around her, and never kept enough money to buy what she wanted herself. She had been granted the stigma of a kind person, and she never thought twice about it. Desire slowly crept into the forced smile of hers. Tsubaki sank into a sea of daydreams. She wanted to wear nicer clothes, to play freely, too. Desires befitting any girl her age continued to surface in Tsubaki's heart one by one as she slowly returned to her room.
京介ちゃんよ。はーい、京介ちゃんよ。
AT came up to me first thing in the morning, wrinkling his brow. What is it? Get your face out of mine.
そろそろよ。俺の家でパーティーの時期じゃねえの？
Party for what? Since when do we party together?
今年からだけどよ。ついに俺ちゃんも爬虫類に手を出したわけだよ。
You're talking about pets now.
とりあえずヘビから行ってみたわけだ。チャーリーって言うんだが、これがまた冬だけあって切なそうなんだよ。
What are you trying to say? You want me to visit Charlie?
エグザクトリーだぜ。
What the fuck? There's something wrong with this kid.
楽しそうなお話してますね。は、宇佐美さんも来るかい？お誘いありがとうございます。宴会は地味に好きです。ちゃんとお土産持ってきてね。ヘビさんにですか？ううん、僕に。死んだバッタとかでいいっすかね？だから僕にだってば。
And with that, class commenced. During class, Usami suddenly turned towards me.
椿、来てないっすね。
You're right. Do you think something happened?
昨日ご飯食べたんじゃないんですか？
No, I backed out at the last minute.
椿最近ちょっと疲れ気味だと思うんで心配です。
I agree. She has her upcoming move to worry about as well.
浅井さんのフォローが必要ですね。
Why me?
自分はちょっと敬遠されているみたいなので。
That is true. Tsubaki rolled into school at the crack of noon.
みんなおはよ
I thought she might have come down with the flu or something, but she seems energetic enough. Why so late?
う。何してたの？ちょっと昨日夜更かししちゃって。
Move-in preparations?
うん、そんなとこかな。ちょっと日記つけたり、本読んでたりしてたの。
You're late because of that? Well, maybe she's just tired.
あ、引っ越しするんだ。へえ、どこに引っ越すの？
It's somewhere in the central district, right?
浅井くんの家の近くだよね。
Her voice jumped. It's no more than a 10-minute walk from my place.
嬉しいな。新築のマンションなんだよね。
Yeah. I had the guy show me a really good room.
僕ちょっと残念だな。何が？なんかあそこアットホームな感じがあった。
Oh, this man just has to bring the mood down. What an asshole. The smile disappeared from Tsubaki's lips.
でもうちってすごく古いんだよ。隙間風とかすごいし、砂壁だし、ストーブないと寒くてたまらないんだよ。僕さ、生まれも育ちも都会だからさ、ちっちゃい頃からああいう一戸建ての家に住みたいなとか思ってたんだよね。そうなの？H 君ってずっとマンションだったの？よく言う鍵っ子だよ。お父さんは単身赴任ばっかりだし、お母さんも夜遅いからね。そうなんだ。
Tsubaki nodded gently.
言ってくれたら今度ご飯作りに行くね。
Well, at least that part of Tsubaki doesn't seem to have changed.
ありがとう。正直寂しい時あるんだよね。
Still, this is the first I've heard of Eiichi's family situation.
ちょっとオーバーに言い過ぎちまったかな。しかしこれいいな。コアピールっつうの。こんな仕事いう設定にしようかね。
Well, nah. I was an idiot for sympathizing with him, even for a moment. Now then, lunch break's almost over. I don't have much to do today, so I'll just go home and sleep. My headaches have been awful recently. Just as I was about to leave, Tsubaki called out to me. Something on her face tells me she was about to invite me somewhere.
浅井くん、今日ちょっと寄っていかない？
Tsubaki had been a lot more forward lately. The first time she asked me out, she looked terrified. Wasn't I just with you yesterday?
ダメかな。セントラル街でね、バイオリニストのイベントあるみたいだよ。
Oh, really? On Central?
なんかデパートのイベントでちょっとした演奏会とその後握手会するみたい。
Who's playing?
ね。
Tsubaki flipped through her diary. After hearing the name, my heart began to race. Is it one of those events with free tickets and a chance to get a signature if you buy the CD afterwards?
そうそう、ちっちゃい企画みたいだけど、どうかな？
Yes, we're going. My immediate answer made Tsubaki smile happily. But I can't believe you know about such obscure things.
昨日調べたの。
She looked a bit proud of herself. What about Hiroki? Doesn't he have to go to kindergarten?
しばらく休ませてるから。
And the others? I forgot their
お
names.
父さんが面倒見てくれてる。
What about moving preparations? Wait, am I nagging you?
準備は夜中やればいいから。最悪明日でもいいしね。
Well then, let's go.
今日は遊びたいの。
Tsubaki clung to my side, smiling flirtatiously. By the time we left the department store, the sky was completely dark. Live performances really are a wholly different experience.
ご満悦だね。CD もちゃんと2枚買ったしね。
Of course. Maybe it's the release of tension after an activity, but the sensation of a chilly air against my flushed cheeks felt great. Thank you, Tsubaki.
また行こうね。
Oh, that reminds me. Didn't you say you were getting a cell phone? Do you want me to go with you?
本当？ありがとう。
But aren't you short on time? It's already 8.
今日は平気だよ。
Really? Previously, she would have gone back by now for sure. But if she says it's okay, then it's probably fine. We casually strolled along the bustling streets. We wandered around town for 2 hours. We bought her a cell phone and had dinner together. Now then.
ねえ、浅井くん。次、どこ行こうか。
Next, I spoke without thinking. Hey now, it's already 10. Even I want to go home. I don't have a specific job right now, but I have to check my accumulated mail daily.
ゲームセンターとか行く？浅井くんってゲームするのかな？
What happened to you? Tsubaki's attitude bothered me.
何が？
Are you the type of person to stay out this late? I don't think there are any strings of words as incompatible as Tsubaki and the arcade at night.
そんなことないんじゃない？ほら、よくカップルでぬいぐるみキャッチャーとかしてるじゃない？ああいうの
Couples?
したいなって思って。
What happened to the Tsubaki I once knew? No matter how much she likes me, she's being strangely forceful about wanting to hang out. What? Did the night owl in you suddenly awaken?
そうかな？そうかもね。
Tsubaki maintained her playful attitude. It's not like we're doing anything bad. It's not a problem to be late for school once in a while. And there's nothing wrong with going to the arcade. Still, something's strange. I heard that once a hard-working person learns to slack off, there's nothing that can cure them. I was only half joking, but Tsubaki's expression suddenly became frightful.
なんだかね、遊ぶと気持ちがスッとするの。
Huh?
嫌なこと忘れて遊んでると楽なの。自分でもちょっとダメかなって思うんだけど、それがまた気持ちいいの。
Way to drop a bomb.
冗談だよ。
She laughed happily. I think I've only seen that kind of laughter. The kind with her mouth wide open and her teeth shining recently. Let's just head home. We can go to the arcade next time.
ごめんね、無理言って。
It's good to see that she's still as earnest as always.
なんか観察されてるみたいだよ。
What? It's just your imagination. Let's go. I'll walk you home. She shook her head.
でもね、浅井くん。私、
She's about to open up
今ま
again.
で我慢しすぎだったのかなって思うんだ。
Maybe it's that release of tension from having the incident resolved. But she looks like she's been possessed by something.